Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about take markers, which is another kind of marker that we have in Cohler Classical in addition to the track group markers and the project markers. You can see these markers in red here on the various items here. These markers are embedded inside of individual takes. So as you can see, for example, here, there's a marker called M11. There's one called Rehearsal A. That's inside this take right here. And so you can see those markers move with the take. Whereas these type of markers, this one here is a project marker, that moves on the timeline. This is a track group marker that moves on the timeline. These ones are embedded inside the takes themselves. Now these markers can be created either when you record the take or at any time thereafter as well. And like other markers, there's a keystroke for it. So if you go to the markers menu under set take, you can set it at the cursor or playhead, set it at the cursor playhead and edit the name. And these are pro functions at the cursor only and edit the name. That you can use while it's playing to set a marker in a different location. And then to delete those markers, under delete here, take, near cursor, near mouse, next, previous, etc. And to navigate to those markers, you go to the navigation menu, cursor to marker, and down here take markers. So you can do Control 0, Control 9, or you can use the standard N and B, next marker, or next anything. If I do N, goes N, B goes back. And of course we'll go to regular markers, it'll go to edit points. That'll take me to the next marker there. This will take me to the edge of the item, etc., etc. So you can navigate to these in any number of ways. And you can also use them for lining up takes. So for example, if I come to this marker here, which is Rehearsal A, and I set a project marker at that point. So I'm going to set a project marker. I'm going to call that project marker also Rehearsal space A. And now I want to move these other items so that they align with it at the same point. You can see in this take I have a take marker at Rehearsal A. This one I also have one at Rehearsal A. But those takes are not aligned properly. If I now use the command in this take, go to Edit, Search, Find Marker Align Item. And we're going to find the marker name Rehearsal A. And hit OK. Now you can see it moved this item so that this Rehearsal A marker is aligned with the project marker that's entitled Rehearsal A. I can then do that on this next item, select the next item in the next group, and now I can simply do align another item, which is Shift Option Command I. That aligns that item. Click the next one, align that item. So in this way you can very quickly align your takes at any given point in time. Because as we know, classical music is not click track music, so even though right now they're aligned perfectly at letter A, that means they won't be aligned, for example, back here at measure 11. And further down the line at letter B, they're not quite aligned. So if at any point I want to align them quickly, I can use that command to do it. Now, how do we put them in? As you're playing, or not playing for that matter, I can go to a point and I can say, put the marker in. So here's a new marker. And there it is. Then whenever I cut and paste or do anything with this item, that marker is going to be there. There are commands for deleting those markers. I can delete the current take marker. So go to delete take near cursor, and it deletes the one under my cursor. I can also be playing while I do this. I'm playing along. I tell it to make a marker, and it makes it at the point in time where I clicked. So these are very useful for marking moments in a piece that are important, places you want to edit, or rehearsal letters, or measure numbers. If you do a bunch of takes of the same thing, you put these markers in, you can very quickly align your items with a single click. Now let me show you how to create those during a recording. So I'll open a fresh tab here. We will open up a template for recording into. Let's do a 6-channel template here. And we're pretty much ready to record. I have to save this out. I'll call it test. And I have to set the channels. So I'll just set it so that it's 1, 2 repeating. And then I'll arm for record. So I'm ready to record. Now I'm going to start recording. And then I'll create some markers. I'm going to overwrite the existing take. So I'm now recording. And I will now create a marker here. I'll call this first marker. Okay. And now I'll create a marker here, second marker. And now when I finish that take, watch what happens. Those are turned into take markers. REAPER doesn't have the innate capability of creating a take marker while you're recording. So Cohler Classical creates temporary track group markers and then inserts them as take markers when the take is completed. So you can see those markers are in there now. I can navigate to those with the commands. I can edit them. If you want to edit one of them, you can double click on it, change its name, change its color if you wish to. You can set take marker colors in the options menu under options, colors. Set the default take marker color, and then this is to reset all the existing ones. So currently I have it set by default for red. If I wanted all my take markers to be yellow instead, I'd do that, click OK, and then I would do options, reset take markers. Now they'll all be yellow. So you can have whatever color take markers you like. Put it back to red. And you can delete take markers, create take markers, you can move them by dragging them, you can navigate to them. And all of these are features that don't exist in plain REAPER. For example, navigation. It doesn't matter where the take markers are, you can navigate to them in Cohler Classical without selecting items beforehand. So for example, let's say I have a marker here, one here. In Cohler Classical, I can just hit N, next, next, next. Or if I want to go directly only to take markers, I can use Control 9 and 0. Control 9, Control 9, Control 9. It doesn't matter which item the take marker is in, it automatically goes to it. That capability doesn't exist actually in regular REAPER. So that's pretty much all there is to take markers in Cohler Classical. Everything you need to do is just one click away.